got sort of orange elastic bandages on his arms, Bumrah, as he turns at the Bennett end and walks. And then gets into that little burst before delivering outside off stump, driven calmly away beautifully by Shubman Gill out to the cover boundary. That was quite a long way from his body, but he trusted his eye. It was foolish outside off stump. Just
as Davis is in. This is tucked off the hip, and that'll be his second boundary. No one at square leg, and that races away to the fence. Where Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Umesh Yadav.
But it is subject to change. In goes Bumrah and bowls, full on off stump, calmly driven away out to extra cover for 4. No chance for Pujara, though he did dive away to his right. It was more of a gesture really than a meaning at third. Bumrah is in and bowls and driven most pleasantly by Gill. Back past him, he stuck out a left foot, but it was no more than a gesture. Again, didn't try and overhit it. No great follow through, but
as Will Davis comes in, those 3 slips await from Shubman Gill, and they might be in business here. The keeper is in fact Rishabh Pant. It's a good delivery from Davis. Gill just not quite sure whether to cut or leave or defend. Sort of did neither. It comes off the top edge through to Rishabh Pant. Simple catch. Will Davis has dismissed Shubman.
Sort of fairly tired a lot of the time.
That was not a tie delivery, but it's met very authoritatively off the back foot by Rohit Sharma. He didn't quite time the one that went through point. That one goes through cover for journalism. Short and pulled off the top edge. Is that going to land in the hands of mid-wicket? It is. Abhidin Sakande had to go back towards the mid-wicket boundary, but made up the ground. Walker from this end has bowled very well as well. It just took a little bit of time for the bowlers to settle, but maybe it's just the cloud cover and just a settling into the right length on this wicket. That is full, that is driven, and that is out. Hanuma Vihari not getting a full.
Down the slope he comes and bowls to Iyer, who drives and misses. And is it taken? It is out. He's gone. He has got the edge, and Krishna has a deserved wicket. It was a very faint edge
to move through the air. He's into Ravindra Jadeja now, who pushes at this, and it squirts off the outer part of the bat well wide of third slip, and that's the first boundary for Ravindra Jadeja, the first boundary for some time, but not in.
Hasn't really transpired. They've not been able to find it or the movement. In he goes and bowls to Kohli, who's driving pleasantly. Thick outside part of the bat along the ground all the way behind point down to wide third man for 4, but
I wonder if some of the similar kind of work might be profitable with Sakande as Walker's in, and that's beautifully driven down the ground by Ravindra Jadeja. The most authoritative shot for a good hour of this tour game, punched firmly down the. Prasidh Krishna as well, perhaps the pick of the bowlers thus far. That's driven beautifully. That's a little bit too full from Sakande. Kohli into the drive, and the Indian crowd comes to life as Virat Kohli pings away a trademark.
I think it's just the formats and who can bowl when and so on and so forth. It looks like Walker's starting to warm up at mid-wicket as in goes Krishna and bowls, and it's pulled. Short delivery, and it's all the time in the world for Kohli to swivel and pull it over square leg for 6 maximum.
Control, but he's been extremely controlled and quite difficult to get away. Oh, that's a big waft from Virat Kohli, aiming a drive down the ground, and eventually it's given. I think that, not entirely sure, I have to say, it was slightly blocked off by the batter from this end. Virat Kohli is not entirely happy. He's having a word with
whoever it is. In goes Krishna and bowls very straight, driven classically straight back past him through his legs by KS Bharat down.
What it hit and in which order it hit them, but he's not there anymore. Shardul Thakur is, and he's
bowled him.
That's pretty comprehensive. He's tried to leave that on length, and I think he might just have not got the bat out of the way in time and dragged it down onto the top of the stumps. And Roman Walker, against not that far off a full-strength India team, has a 5 for 30. Yeah, Oakham, Stuart Broad's alma mater.
Correct.
As Umesh faces up to Walker. Does give him the big drive and thumps it back over his head. That has gone one bounce for into those.
So Bowley's going to be bowling to KS Barrett with a slip. Steps to the crease and bowls, tosses it up. His slog swept over mid-wicket for 6.
And that cleared the boundary by a fair distance. That's gone into the. Okay, there's only 5 rows of seats, but it's gone into the back of them.
Connect with them. There might not be there might be a couple of marks on the ball. Bowley is in. Barrett's going to reverse sweep him for 4 more, and does. Quickly changed hands. The ball was in the air in the point of delivery. No third man. Comfortable for
here
10.
in Leicester. We don't know yet if he's going to play any part in this game. As Sakande is in second ball of the over to KS Barrett, who flays this through cover point. That kind of came off the toe end of the bat, judging by how it sounded, but it's a short boundary and he gave it late 30s. Hasn't scored a Ranji Trophy 100 for a while, but he's certainly capable with the bat and a very good wicket keeper. This is punched off the back foot square of the wicket. Will they come through for 2? They will come through for 2, and KS Barrett will move to 50 exactly off 93 balls, 6 fours and a 6, and the drums start up again, drumming KS Barrett to his milestone. Well played.
First half century of the.
It's a hard thing to do on purpose.
Indeed. Davis is in, looking for the Yorker, overdoes it outside off stump. It's driven away, and Griffiths sprawling to his left. In fact, at mid.
A reason for him not whirling the arm over.
Davis is in, huge mo, should be caught at deep mid-wicket, is caught at deep mid-wicket. Yadav has been trying to get
in the middle in general, and he's played nicely, but it's not exactly what India were thinking we're going to get out of it at the start of the game.
Exactly. Davis is, he swung over and Anderson into the crowd. Gentleman in a white shirt drops a catch, but leaps over.
No lack of intensity there. 2 slips away. Barrett pulls this really nicely. It was one of those where the sound off the bat was actually almost slightly delayed, so you weren't quite sure what had happened. But that's how well he's timed that. Pulled behind square for 4. Very nice.